Hey everybody, it's AJ from Disney Food Blog, and today we are going to go back to Disney Cruise Line. We're going to talk about Castaway Cay, which is Disney's private island, and there are a few things you really need to know before you get to Castaway Cay, so let's get started. Okay, we're going to start with some things you need to know before you even get on the ship. These are things you need to know while you're actually planning for your visit to Castaway Cay, which of course is in the Bahamas and happens on the Bahama cruises. So this is a spot that you'll make 1 or 2 times depending on which cruise you're on through the Bahamas. So there are a few things that you want to book ahead of time if you can. And of course, this is going to depend on what level of cruiser you are. If you are silver level or platinum level or gold level or just regular level, you want to try to book the cabanas early if you'd want to get a cabana on Castaway Cay. They're pretty expensive. There's family beach cabanas that run from like $549. There's grand family beach cabanas that are going to be like $900. And then there's Serenity Bay beach cabanas over in the adult section of the island, and these are going to be $400. But these actually book up really fast, so figure out ahead of time. Can you book ahead of time? When can you book ahead of time? Call Disney Cruise Line and figure that out for your particular situation. So if you want one of these cabanas, these are really nice to have, you will know when you can book them. Okay, also consider port adventures. If you want to do a port adventure while you're in Castaway Cay, which is possible, they have, jet skis and rentals and all kinds of different port adventures that you can do there in Castaway Cay. Look those up ahead of time. You want to book your port adventures before you get on the ship if you can. You can always book port adventures on the ship, but they may be filled up. So you want to book those ahead of time so that you get the widest variety of available port adventures to choose from. Okay, now you are arriving at Castaway Cay. You are getting ready for planning your day here. The first thing to know about is that if you are an early riser and or a runner, you'll want to know about the Castaway Cay 5K. A lot of people don't even know this happens because they don't wake up early enough to see it happening. There is a 5K on Castaway Cay every morning that a ship docks, and you kind of run through the foliage and the vegetation. You run out by the observation tower. You run a little bit on the airstrip there on Castaway Cay, and you get a cute little medal. It's a little rubber medal, and you get your runner's bib and all kinds of cool. I mean, it's a real legit race for your, for your runner's bib wall. So the Castaway Cay 5K is something you can totally do, and then you feel like you've accomplished something that day and you can just go and, eat all day or rest all day or do what you want because you've already done your 5K. So it's a fun little thing to do, especially with your family. It's good to bring your kids along on that one too if they like to run. All right, so you've done your 5K, you've gone, taken your shower, you're getting off the ship and you're going into Castaway Cay. Here's what you need to bring and you don't need to bring. You don't need to bring your stroller. They actually have strollers here for you. They're free. And you don't need to bring towels. They actually have towels for you here as well. So don't worry about those 2 things. You can rent floats and rafts here as well. Those are going to be $12 for all ages. And so just be aware that you can do that. You can rent that stuff so you don't have to figure out how to bring your own. But do definitely bring along things like your sunscreen and your book and your sunglasses. And do not forget to bring your room key and your ID so you can get back on the ship when you're ready to get back on the ship. There are plenty of lounge chairs on Castaway Cay. You don't have to worry about bringing any sort of chair or anything like that, of course. Hope you didn't bring a chair on the ship, because why? But hey, some people have a special chair that they like. I don't know. But just bring the sort of things that you would normally bring on a beach day and you'll be fine. All right, so now you get to figure out which beach you want to go to. If you are adults visiting Castaway Cay alone without kids, or if your kids are back in the kid clubs or something like that, you can go to Serenity Bay. This is a beach that's on the farthest reach of Castaway Cay, pretty far away. You can walk there, it is possible, but a lot of people choose to take the tram. There are some trams that run on Castaway Cay to take you from beach to beach and location to location. Serenity Bay is a smallish beach. They've got some hammocks, they've got some lounge chairs, and there is a dedicated bar there, so you can get all the alcohol that you want, which is of course an added cost. And there's also an extra dining location there. All of the dining on Castaway Cay is sort of barbecue fare, and it's outdoor grilled sort of stuff. But at the Castaway Cay Serenity Bay dining location, there's going to be a few extra entrees. So we'll talk about that later. So Serenity Bay is one of the beaches you can go to. There's also a couple of family beaches. So you just have to kind of look at the map and figure out which one is right for you and your family when you're there. But a lot of people don't even know that there's that adults only Serenity Bay there. So I wanted to make sure you knew about that in case you happen to have the opportunity to visit Castaway Cay solo or just as an adults-only group. While you are on your way onto Castaway Cay, remember that there are Disney characters on Castaway Cay. So keep an eye out and ask cast members when those characters are going to appear. Usually there'll be one or two that are sort of greeting you when you are getting off the ship, and then the characters appear at different times, usually around the family beaches. But let the cast members tell you when they're going to arrive, because you don't want to wait in those long lines. You want to kind of know when they're going to be there so you can be there to get your picture right away. You don't have to wait in a long line. So snag that opportunity to ask when those characters are going to arrive. Don't forget there will be ship photographers there to take pictures of you with the characters in case you want to purchase those pictures as well. All right, if you want to go snorkeling, that is an option on Castaway Cay. There are 1 and 2 day snorkeling rentals. They're valid for the whole day. Right now, it's $33 for 10 and over for a 1 day snorkeling rental and $43 for ages 10 and over for a 2 day snorkeling rental. And there's also boat snorkeling. So there's also kind of a go out on a boat snorkeling adventure, and you want to check your port adventures for that too. Okay, so speaking of food, let's talk about that. There is lots of food available on Castaway Cay. There is Cookies Barbecue, and there's Cookies 2, T-O-O, Barbecue. Those are by the family beaches. Those are going to be things like chicken sandwiches and hamburgers and stuff like that, basically. It's going to be picnic food. And of course, there's the Serenity Bay Barbecue out there as well, which is going to add a few extra items to the menu. There's grilled steaks out there, a couple of extra entrees. Steaks are actually pretty good. I was really surprised. But the food here is okay. It's not fabulous. It is all right. It is picnic grub. There are several locations for all-you-can-eat froyo here, just like you have on the ship. There's lots of froyo stops here, so don't, tell your kids not to worry. They can get as much frozen yogurt on Castaway Cay as they want. But an important thing to note with the food is that the food does shut down around 2 p.m. every day. So don't wait too long to get your lunch, because if it goes past 2 p.m., you're not going to be able to get any of that food. So just eat early or, eat back on the ship. Okay, so you've had your lunch and now you need to work off some of those calories. You can always rent a bike on Castaway Cay. There's lots and lots and lots of bikes, and there's some really fun, nice bike trails around Castaway Cay as well. This is a really fun thing that a lot of families choose to do. But if you haven't been to Castaway Cay before, you might not even realize this is an option and that you can sort of bike around this incredible island. So this is going to be about $15 per hour. There are some really fascinating places to visit. The bikes are a little rickety, I'm not gonna lie, but if you know how to ride a bike, you're gonna be just fine. Be prepared though, if you haven't ridden a bike for a while, that's gonna hurt the next day. I was surprised. I guess I hadn't ridden a bike in a really, really long time, but just be aware, you're going to feel it the next day. But it's really, really fun to rent a bike and ride around Castaway Cay, work off some of those calories and see this pristine island that really nobody gets to see except for Disney Cruise Line guests. All right, so just another quick reminder that there is a tram on the island. The tram will take you along the airstrip to different locations on the island. So be aware of that. Don't try to walk unless you really know that you're going to walk a long distance and you're cool with that. I talked to a lot of people who thought that they had to walk everywhere and they were exhausted. And not only that, but they had wasted a huge chunk of their Castaway Cay time walking from place to place instead of taking the tram. So be sure to take the tram if that suits your schedule a little better than walking the distances between the locations on Castaway Cay. And finally, there is exclusive merchandise on Castaway Cay. This is something that a lot of people don't realize. If you don't buy the thing that you want on Castaway Cay, you're not going to find it on the ship. You're not going to find it anyplace else. There is exclusive Castaway Cay merchandise you can only get there. And what's really fun is they have Castaway Cay 5K merchandise. They have other clothing and magnets and pins and things like that you're only going to get at Castaway Cay. So be prepared, bring some cash, bring your key card, and make sure to pick up some souvenirs from Castaway Cay because you're not going to find that stuff anyplace else. All right, there are a few tidbits from Castaway Cay. If you are going on Disney Cruise Line, or if you're thinking about going on Disney Cruise Line, be sure to stay tuned to this channel. Give us a subscribe. We've got a lot more to cover from our trips to Alaska and the Bahamas and Canada and New York City, all kinds of places that we've been with Disney Cruise Line, and we can't wait to tell you all about them and all about all the different ships as well. So stay tuned, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and be sure to check out our other Disney Cruise Line videos. Thanks so much. This is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.